Everyone, we are live. We're live inside the Esthetician Marketing Club. I'm Maxine Drake. I'm a coach and consultant for spa professionals and the founder of the Esthetician Business Academy. And welcome. Brooke and I, we just uploaded or, tagged about, 50 something new members. So I wanted to welcome the new members. I was trying to tag everyone and Facebook wasn't letting me, and Brooke and I were trying to figure it out. So if you didn't see your name tagged, it was really not for lack of effort. Hey, Amy, you made it. I'm excited. I'm excited for this topic, but we're really loving what's happening in this group. And if you're brand new, Brooke Lee Wood and I, our mission for this particular group is to just bring you a lot of value. And you'll notice in the most recent post where I added the new members, we actually do have a new link. We were copying and pasting a lot of the email addresses and names, and we're like, wait a minute here. I'm like, Brooke, I think we need to make a landing page because this is taking like hours of time. So go ahead and click that. If you haven't already listed your email and you want to be added to our email list so that you could get the highlights of each month, and we're trying to crank that out for this month for you of what were the biggest topics in the group and the most shared, the most that got the most traffic. So we just want to kind of keep you in the loop. All right. Hey, Brooke, you made it too. Excellent. All right, cool. So our topic for today is, not to make these 3 mistakes in your spa business. And what are they? I mean, there's lots of mistakes that we can make, but I'm trying to follow some of the comments that are happening in the group and just really be of service to you and kind of answer what's going on. So Brooke and I are going to continue to take polls to just kind of find out what do you need most and what do you want to learn about most. So I highly encourage you to participate in these polls, and we definitely want to know your opinion so that we can create the content for you. So to not make these 3 business mistakes. Number 1 is you don't want to fly by the seat of your pants. What do I mean by that? You whether you're just starting out or whether you're a seasoned, esthetician and you've been in practice a long time, I think that, flying by the seat of our pants these days is like almost the new norm. And we want to have some sort of a plan. I think you want to get organized, and you want to, hey Julie, and you want to write some things out. You know what I mean? And you want to get really crystal clear on what it is that you want to create. And if you are just starting out, and I had a few people comment in this particular group, what advice do you have for new people starting out? And my advice to you is to get clear on what it is that you want to create. If you're brand new, I do have a blog on my website. I think it's titled How to Land the Perfect Job Out of Aesthetics School, and maybe that blog might help you. But you don't want to, it's hard because you go in these groups and you see things that people are doing, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll just, go and do that. And you kind of, if you don't have capital, money in the bank, it's really hard to just go and open up your own practice, right? So, because then if you don't kind of have a plan and you don't have some capital to work with, then, you're going to be in trouble really fast. A lot of times I really encourage brand new people to go and work for someone and just get your feet wet. It doesn't have to be your forever job, but it definitely will do a couple of things for you. Number 1, it's going to give you the confidence, which I think is really, really, really important for us as as entrepreneurs and as estheticians. So that's not a bad idea. But you want to have some kind of a plan, and if you're seasoned and you're kind of, I guess the question for you is, what's your plan this year and how is it different from last year's plan? And what's that financial goal for you, and then what are the sub goals that are going to back up that new goal? And and so with that, we never want to be flying by the seat of our pants. We don't want to rely on willpower to do things. We got to write them out, and we have to prioritize them, not just in order of importance. I say to prioritize these things in order of how they are going to impact your business financially. So that's the order that you want to put them in. I hope that makes sense. So that's what you want to do first. And then, and there's a couple different things, as part of that plan. A lot of times people are like, well, do you think I need a website right out of the gate, Maxine? And, the answer is, yes, but don't stress about it. It's like you do need one, but it doesn't have to be, like perfect right out of the gate. And, and consider your website as your storefront, right? Because we live in such a digital age that a website is important. But I'll just give you a quick example of what just happened to Brooke and I like 2 seconds ago. Like we were like messaging and talking and we're trying to get this landing page together, and we're running into all these glitches. Like all of a sudden, like Facebook's not letting me tag and whatever. So we're rolling with it. And, so you'll notice if you click on the link, the landing page it's not super perfect. It's just it's generic right now. So we'll go back and we'll tweak it, or Brooke will tweak it. I'll help load other things. That's her zone of genius. So, so my point is that it doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want to have, and part of that plan is you want to, think about, a website should be right at the top of that list also. And then, also you want to align yourself with some kind of a mentor or a coach. And, and I think what's important there is that, you don't want to make the mistakes that a lot of people have made. You want to save yourself. So you kind of want to work smarter, not harder. And, so aligning yourself with someone that you resonate with, because there's a lot of great coaches out there. And, you want to eliminate some of those mistakes. You know what I mean? I think we can learn from others. We don't need to go through the pain of going through these mistakes, just for the sake of, going through the pain. Like that's just silly. So I think it's really important to align yourself as part of that plan, as part of that, not flying by the seat of your pants. I hope that makes sense. All right, and I definitely want to hear from you some of the comments, in the comment section, what's going on with you, and what you feel, or even some mistakes that you've made in business that you're like, that you can maybe potentially help another fellow esthetician by sharing just some of your stuff, something that you've experienced in your business growth. And then the third thing is not getting involved in community. I'm going to say this last one again because it's really so important. Not getting involved in community. For whatever reason, because of digital now, we think that we can just, I don't know, like do, everything digitally. We could do a lot digitally, but I think it's really important to get involved in your community. And what do I mean by that? You want to, I'll give you an example. I mean, I'm going to be hanging out at my Tampa house now for a few months, so I decided to get involved in a couple of things. It's a networking group for women entrepreneurs. it just so happens we have an awesome networking group in Tampa, and they're a dynamo group. And so I'm going to do that. And I also contacted another esthetician in that lives not too far from me. And we, there's Florida groups, just like there's all just, different groups for estheticians in different states, which is great. And I think those are great. But there's just something about meeting in person. So I gave a shout out to this esthetician, and I was like, let's create a coffee clutch or a happy hour or something. Like, what do you think about that? Just to, talk shop, to talk, just to meet each other in person, because there's some value in that. And so by you getting involved in your community, that's where your business is. And so you want to be rubbing elbows with people that could potentially be an alliance for you. And there's just so much value in that. I can't even express that enough. So I'd love to hear from you. Let's see who's gone here. Brooke says, let's see if I can read this on. And Brooke and I are so on the same page. I'm like, Brooke, get out of my head. But Brooke says, so many of the estheticians who I've talked to and have seen the most success have invested in coaching. Yeah, it's really, I don't know, like yes, there's lots of things that we can do for free. I mean, I have a coach. I'm involved in some wonderful marketing. I feel really blessed to be connected to some of the top marketers, in the world. I'm not going to brag about that, but no, I feel really lucky. But the thing is I'm investing in that, and then what I do from there is I'll regurgitate some things and investigate things for our own, industry, and then that's how I create a lot of the content, for this group, and mostly for my membership program, which is dirt cheap, in my opinion. But I also pay. So you're going to be floored by this. So I'm going to an Archangel event. It's up in Toronto. One of my favorite speakers, Simon Sinek, who I'm just in love with him. I love his message. I love his leadership. Like my whole mission for my own business is based on leadership and marketing and business, and really cleaning up ourselves first so that we can show up and be that for our, for my community. And so guess what my investment is for this 1-day ticket in Toronto? Just come on, I want you to take a stab at it, just because I am curious what you think I've invested in this 1-day ticket. So I got to fly up to Toronto. I'm staying in a hotel 2 nights, so I got to pay for my ticket. The hotel room, like, Toronto's not cheap, just FYI. I think it's like $200 or $300 a night. And Liz Steffen says $2,000. Brooke says $300. Denise, $6,000, $5K. Okay, it's $1,000 for the day, but you know what? It's just a 1-day event. It's actually a little over $1,000. And it's like, but right on, right? And it's like, I'm so stoked. I am so excited about going, and I paid for the Mac Daddy ticket. You know why? Because I want to sit in the front row, and I want to rub elbows with people that are more successful than me. That's it. I really do. And, and so there's great power in that. And I think that I was kind of creating some content this morning, and I get in my creative mode in the morning, and I told Brooke today, we kind of talk a lot now, and I said, I'm getting really sassy with my posts. And, you know what I mean? And it's just like, if you're too broke to invest in yourself, then get used to staying that way. And I yeah, I'm going to say that with some sass, get used to staying that way, because it's like, what comes first, So you got to take the plunge, and you got to kind of, invest in the things that are the most important right now, that are going to have the biggest impact on your business and that are going to move the needle. And that's it. Oh, and I missed number 2 because I got on a tangent on flying by the seat of your pants and having a plan. Number 2 is really knowing your brand. And I'm going to say that with knowing your brand and your culture. And Brooke and I were talking about this because, what is your spa like? Is it, a relaxed environment? Are you, are you more medical? What are you like? So you have to know, are you more pampering? What's your verbiage like? And, this is part of our culture. And I get this question a lot in my workshops is, well, what the heck is branding? Branding is your reputation. And so, it's what you're going to be known for, in your community. So really know what your brand is. And again, that's going to take that, putting that pen to paper and really writing out, well, what am I like? Or what do I want to stand for in my town? And, how do I want to show up in my community? And what is my verbiage like? And, you know what I mean? So number 2 is really, when the number 2 mistake is not knowing your brand. So, okay, I think we have some questions here. Thanks for playing with that ticket. So that was kind of fun. Let's see. Yeah, okay, including plane ticket, Rita says about $4,000. That's right. When it's all said and done, it's going to be, a hefty bill there. But is it? You know what I mean? So value versus cost, right? So the smart entrepreneurs invest in things that are going to move the needle. Ordinary entrepreneurs waste a lot of money. I hope that makes sense. Like, I'll even talk to estheticians who I'll say, okay, can you not spend for 6 months? Because we're so like, oh my gosh, shiny object syndrome. We want to buy the next gadget. We want to buy, the next modality without even doing any footwork to say, go back to that plan. Is this in alignment with my plan and my vision? And is this, does this modality speak to my brand and what I want to create here? You know what I mean? Before we start wasting money, I'll talk to estheticians and they'll be like, yeah, I kind of have a closet full of stuff that I never used. I'm like, well, it's time to sell that stuff and reinvest it into something that's going to serve you. You know what I mean? So we have to stop that spending. I just did a master class yesterday, in the inner circle, and it was on time management. And, the big topic was, saying no to the things that aren't serving us right now. And a really big question to ask, I'll give you a little sneak preview on that, is to ask yourself this: whenever you have that thing in front of you, like that's like, ooh, shiny object, step back and ask yourself one thing. Is this in alignment with my current mission? Actually, there's a 2-part question. And is this going to, is this in alignment, or is this going to contribute to my financial goal this year? And if it doesn't, then you have your answer, right? Okay, so let's get to some fun questions here. I want to see if there's some on here. Amy Wall. And Amy Wall is one savvy chick. Her and I talk quite a bit. We haven't chatted in a while. We're both been, have had our head down with our business right now, with both of our businesses right now. But that is one woman that invests in herself. Let me tell you, she is one savvy. I just have to do a little shout out to Amy because I just love her so much. But yeah, we both invested in a mastermind, I think the same year, where we spent $10,000 on our business coach. So that might floor some of you too. All right, let's see. Why isn't this showing me You know, Facebook is such a pain in the butt sometimes because it won't give me the current comments. So I apologize. So that's the way it goes. Okay. So if there are any other questions for today, or if, you know, if even these three things resonated with you, you know, comment. Or if there's something that you would like to share, like I said, that a mistake that you've made in your business that you can share with an esthetician who's maybe starting out. You know, the whole idea here is to, you know, kind of come together and help out the newbies. You know, this is what it's all about too. But thank you so much. I think Brooke is going to go live on Thursday. I forgot what time you said you're going live, Brooke. But she's going to do a segment on, I think, SEO, hint, hint. So you want to stay tuned for that. But again, Rita says, great info. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're really grateful for the group. We're grateful that there's like, oh my gosh, like 50 people that want to join every other day. And thanks for being a part of our community. And we'll catch you on Thursday because I'll be there for Brooke's live stream. All right. Have a beautiful rest of the week. Take care.